信を確認。
Hi guys, this is AC Gamer back with another video on Counterside. So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is going over to this website over here, which is a brand new website where it covers a lot of Counterside content. So it does have all the information for characters, all the operators, ships, skins, and statistics and everything here. So I will be taking a look at the Counterside updated tier list for the SEA server, where we can take a look at all the latest characters ranked up in the tier list, and I will also go over my opinions on this tier list as well, because I want to explain why some of these characters, I do understand why some of them are lower down. You might not think they deserve to be that low, but yeah, I will explain it in today's video. Hopefully you guys like this video. Stay tuned for more content on Counterside. Let's get to 10k subscribers. At 10k subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now I actually will leave the link to this website down below, because I actually do like this website. Whoever made it, shout out to you. This website is going to be updated from now on, so we usually take a look at the web page, wherever that website was before, where it gets updated with content for Counterside, but now they're going to be updating this every single time. As you can see right now, this one says last updated 24th of November 2021, but it will be updated every single time. So anyways, let's get right into it. Okay, scrolling down, we're going to be taking a look at this. So this website is actually good, because if you hover above the characters, you can actually start seeing the rankings for each individual content. But yeah, let's read this important information first before we dive right in. This tier list is a current tier list for the SEA region. It doesn't take into account future employees or the meta shift that will happen in the KR region. Overall rating is displayed by default, but you can change it using the drop down on the right. Overall PvE and PvP rankings are auto-generated from partial rankings, so story, raid, danger close, etc., using a weighted formula. So to find out how good an employee is in certain content, use the drop down or go to the profile to check out. So like I said, I will leave the link to this if you guys want to take a look at that. So I actually wanted to make a tier list video, but then I saw that this website actually had one, so I decided to stick with this. However, in my tier list, I didn't really have an SS tier. However, I do understand why they have it, because there's 4 characters over here, god tier characters. I would definitely, I do understand why Awaken Seer unit is here. So Awaken Seer unit is SS rank, Awaken Yuna SSS. We also have Nanohara Shifuyu, she is SSS. I do understand why in PvP she's only at S tier, because I start noticing that there is better striker characters for PvP. Obviously she's still S tier, which is very, very fantastic. And we have Administration Rifleman, which I've made several content on this SR unit, because he is just simply, he is simply fantastic. A huge amount of damage, low deployment cost, easy to deploy in any content in the game, so very, very fantastic. So the first 2 characters are both Awakened units, and I don't think there is a reason for me to actually go deep into it, because these are the 2 units you want to summon for. These are the 2, there is the thing called Holy Trinity, 2 specific Awakened characters that you guys should summon for, or 3 specific characters you should summon for. You have 2 of them in SS tier. If you guys are playing the game without Awakened Seer unit, you guys are playing the game on hard mode. Right now in Shadow Place 4, these 2 units make it very, very easy. All you need to do is just auto it, and you can easily clear through that content very, very nicely. And Nanohara Shifuyu, amazing. She does defense down, I believe, so she's fantastic for that. And Administration Rifleman is basically a low cost Awakened Seer unit. The amount of damage they can deal is very, very nice, but because they are low cost, their stats are going to be very low, so one hit from the ship skill will instantly vaporize them in PvP. But they are still fantastic characters. If you guys haven't seen my video where I went over a character that could counter Awaken Nayubin, those units are there. Moving on to S tier, we got Rosaria, Yang Harim, Evelyn, Nanohara Shinotsu, which I'm actually very, very surprised about, not gonna lie. And we also have Ifrit, Gaeyun, Awakens Lee Soo-yoon, Sigma, Surfel, and Lee Yumi. Now, Lee Yumi and Surfel are both similar in terms of what they do, so they are both like low cost defender class characters. Lee Yumi is lower cost than the Surfel, but Surfel, in my opinion, can be more tanky, but the reason why Lee Yumi is fantastic is because of the evasion. So if Lee Yumi is banned in 1 week in PvP, you just go ahead and use Seraphol. But most content in PvE, I use Seraphol because yeah, it's just much better to tank with this character. Moving on to Sigma. Sigma is a fantastic character. She is amazing. However, she relies heavily on her gear. So if you do not have a good gear for this character, she is not going to be shining too much. However, in some content, I can see her being useful. Right now in PvE, I haven't really seen too much uses for this character. In fact, when I do PvE content, even the harder ones, I don't use her, but I do believe in the future, in like Danger Close, you might want to use this character. I've seen a bunch of Danger Close with this character being there, or I believe was it Shadow Place or Challenge Stage. So yes, Sigma will be a fantastic character to have, but definitely relies on gear, and it's going to be very, very hard to get a good gear for Sigma. Awaken Lee So-yoon, a fantastic Awaken character. Now, I did make a video going over like the Holy Trinity, my updated version, and I added Lee So-yoon instead of the Awaken Hildy. She is fantastic because she buffs up the Ranger class characters and increases the skill haste. Just amazing hair type units as well. She can instantly vaporize any other air type characters in PvP. Next up, we do have Gaeyoon. She is basically an Awakened character. In PvP, she's absolutely not tanky. She absolutely stuns everyone. She is just a character that will always be in Banff 2 every single time PvP, sorry, because of her stuns. Her stuns are absolutely amazing, and you want to instantly kill this character in PvP. If you do not, your team is definitely going to lose. PvE, Great Ranger class character, damage is quite good as well. Moving on to Ifrit. Ifrit is another good mech character. It doesn't really rely too much on the gear. All you need to do is put like you can go ahead and put the spectral gear on this character, or you can go ahead and put attack speed for this character to increase the attack speed. Moving on to Nanohara Chinutsu. Not gonna lie, I do know she's a good healer or pretty good support class character. I personally am not sure too much about the S tier ranking, not gonna lie, because putting her alongside Evelyn, yeah, I would definitely say Evelyn is just a better healer, but maybe I just don't know what she does, because I rarely use her in PvP. I rarely use her in PvE as well. I'd rather just use Evelyn over here. Yangarim, very, very good. Now, in terms of healing, she isn't as good as Evelyn, but she does provide you with a very, very good support, and the shield is amazing. Now, Rosaria over here, I personally would like to put her in SS just because of the AoE damage that she can do. In PvP, if obviously someone deploys the Awakened Lee So-yoon, she is definitely going to get vaporized. But yeah, Rosaria, fantastic damage dealer. In most content in PvE, you're actually going to be using this character. So yeah, fantastic. So I actually don't know, but it looks like this tier list, the characters that you see in front are the better ones. So in this STS tier, Awaken So-yoon is the better one, then goes over to Awaken Yuna, and it goes like that. So this one, Rosaria, is the better S1, I think. Let's see. Yangarim, I really wouldn't put her as second best, to be honest. Gaeyoon, definitely I would put, but she's just great everywhere, so that's why I think that she is second over here. Moving on to, is there any other specific characters I want to focus on? Not really. So moving on to the A tier, let's take a look at that. So most people actually re-roll for Kawon. The shield that he can bring is absolutely amazing. Now in PvP, just think of him as a Gaeyoon. So he's pretty similar with Gaeyoon in PvP. They do pretty much the same thing, but instead of just stunning, he also brings out a shield that can help you out. I've rarely used him now, but he is still a fantastic character. So a very quick and easy support class character you can actually go ahead and build is this A rank character, Claudia Nelson. Fantastic character. Moving on to Ling Zheng, she basically is there for the amount of resources she can give you, so your deployment resources. If you build her up with like cooldown reduction, this is going to be amazing. PvE content, fantastic in this, especially in raid, guild raid as well, fantastic. Moving on, next we have Ainz and Zwain. So they are a 2 deployment cost character. These are the characters you would use in some of the stages where there is a restriction with the deployment cost. Ainz and Zwain, sorry, is going to be fantastic. PvP, when they came out, the way the first battle pass character, they completely took over PvP and still take over PvP as being one of the most fastest characters you can deploy in the game. Moving on, we have Adele Midna. So why is she good? She's amazing. She can counter the soldier team completely. In most PvE content as well, she's going to be dealing high damage as well. Even if I want to compare the damage, if you're going against like soldier characters, her damage is going to be ranking alongside Awakened Xiaoyun and Awakened Yuna, just because she does like amazing damage. However, because she doesn't attack air type characters, the damage is reduced a little bit, but you can still see that she is amazing. In some content, you can't actually beat it without this unit, or you can, but it'll be a lot harder. So that's why you actually would want to pull for this character. Even though she's at A tier, I would actually put her in S tier just because of her uniqueness. But I feel like the way this is ranked, they basically just took the scores and got the average for the overall. So in PvP, she isn't the best because, well, you only use her special, and her special requires cooldown gear. But in PvE content, you mainly want to use the attack speed gear. So that's why in PvP she does have a low ranking, but I would definitely tell you guys to summon for this character when she comes out. Next up, we have Janus. Now basically Janus is a B-Tech version of Rosaria. So Rosaria is the better air type character, but Janus is going to be fantastic if you want to build the mech team, so go ahead and get that. We have Ironside, pretty good for the mech team, but overall the mech team is underpowered, not gonna lie. Well, actually, with the addition of the new Awakened characters, they do have Evolve 1, they do have the playstyle in PvP, but Evolve 1 does require heavy investment. Next up, we have Administration Sword Fighter, pretty good as a striker character. I would obviously use Irons as Wayne first, or even Nanohara Shifuyu before I actually start using this character, but she is a great substitution in PvP when those two characters are actually banned. Next up, we have Awakened Yumina, very good burst damage. In PvP, she literally can turn the tide if you place her right. She definitely isn't one of those Holy Trinity character, but she is definitely good at both PvE and PvP content. Next up, we have Xiaolin. She's guaranteed a crit every single time she does her attack, which makes her completely busted. If you go against this character when she's at level 110 in PvP and you don't have any character to counter her, she pretty much will snipe out every single one of your characters. Next up, we do have Ludmilla. Now, she is at A tier just because of her squishiness, not gonna lie. She is a great air type character, but once again, you would actually use Rosario before you actually start using Ludmilla, but some places Ludmilla can be a better alternative. Moving on, next we do have one of the best PvP character, well, if you're going against sniper characters. So if you want to counter Xiaolin or any of the other sniper characters, this is the character for you guys. Very good. I've realized a lot of people don't use her in PvP anymore. I think it's just because there's a lot of tanky units that she's unable to kill. Moving on, next we have Awakened Hildy. Now, she was actually known as the Holy Trinity character alongside Awakened Xiaoyun as well as the Awakened Yumina. The reason why she's at A tier is just because of her cost. She is a 6 cost character. She is absolutely tanky, one of the most tanky characters in the game. The only issue is that yeah, if you guys want to do like PvP, you can easily deploy those two characters because, yeah, easy deployable. You can redeploy them over and over again. And in PvE, unless you're going over to the harder content, she is not going to be required. In some harder content, she just makes it a lot easier. But yeah, fantastic character. If you guys want to sign for her, I would absolutely tell you to do that. Ju Soyun, I can't really talk too much about this character, I'm not gonna lie. I believe he counters, which makes him very good, but I haven't really used him too much. Next up, we do have the Administration Shieldsman. Right now in PvP, not that many people are using this character because they are quite squishy for defender class character, but the usefulness is but their usefulness comes from how fast you can actually deploy them. Next up, we got Arius, which I actually slept on when the game started. I only started realizing how good she was a couple of like months after the game came out, but I have actually started using her. Well, I have been using her in most PvE content if I require more heals. Amazing character, not as good as the other like healers up there, but if you require heals, she is going to be quite decent for that. Moving on, we have Shinjiro, just a buff up character. Next up, we have Jane Doe, which I personally put at B tier on my tier list. She's actually niche in terms of like not that many people use her, but when you go against her, you do know how strong she is. The amount of damage she can do in PvP is absolutely insane. You just want to make sure that she's able to survive. Next up, we have Kao Wong, which I am lucky that I was able to actually pull her for free. I didn't summon on her banner, but I've realized how quite useful she is. She is basically like Kao Wong, but I would definitely say Kao Wong is just a better version than this character in my opinion. But yeah, quite decent. Now moving on to B tier, I'm just going to briefly go over this. This ship over here is quite good. It's an SR ship. It recently came out, and I believe this unit is good for the mech team. I don't really have too much use for Frederick Domer, so I don't really know how good he is, but I do believe a lot of people have said that this character is good in the guild stuff. Next up, we do have Alex. She's a pretty decent striker character, but other striker characters are better than her. You just want to use her in PvP, or if you guys are running the striker team. We also have Asane. She's pretty decent as a sniper character. You use her in most danger close content. PvP, she's actually quite good as well. I'm going to skip Hildy. I'm going to just go over the SSR characters now. Next up, we have Sia Yun. She's actually a free character, and yeah, she's actually quite decent. I didn't realize how good of a buff character she is, but yeah, in some of the some content where it's like a damage test stuff, I actually use her. Which other characters? So we got Awaken Now Yubin, only good in PvP. I don't think I need to say too much about that, but he is probably the king of PvP at the moment, but definitely requires heavy investment. So if you guys don't have a good gear, don't bother summoning for this character. Next up, we got Terminator. Yeah, pretty decent as a soldier character. You don't really use this character too much, but you can for damage. It's basically like a B-Tech version of the Administration Rifleman, but not too bad. Who else is there? So we got Veronica, recently came. She's actually one of those few characters you can actually use to clear with dive 50, and right now dive 50 is one of the hardest contents in the game, and a lot of videos have been made on how to clear it, and you definitely require this character. So you can technically say she is a must-have character, but she's still at B tier because her usefulness is niche. You can go ahead and use other striker characters that will probably perform better than this character, and she is a soldier character, so some of the characters up there that gives buff, they only buff up counter characters, and it has a soldier character. You want to use her in a soldier team, but the soldier team isn't too strong at the moment. Next up, we have Maria. She's only good if you have a cooldown gear on her, and you need to build her with some heavy cooldowns to actually see her usefulness. Next up, we have John Mason, pretty decent buff character as well. He does have a summon skill where he's able to summon a big monster, which is quite useful, but I believe it doesn't get healed. It can't be healed, so he pretty much will die. But yeah, average character. Next up, we got Regina Macready. She completely counters the mech team. Not completely, but she can. She does have the skills to counter the mech team. Next up, we got Jushu Young, a pretty decent striker characters, but the other striker characters I mentioned up there are better than her. Next up, we got Evolved One. As you can see, the newly released Awakened character, SS tier in PvP, PvE C tier just because he basically absorbs your character, which you don't want in PvP and PvE. Sorry. Who else is there? We got Lee Soo-yoon. Don't really use her too much. Don't really know her usefulness. She's actually quite good. So if you guys don't have the Administration Shields mode, you can actually use this character instead. Overflow, new character. Don't really know what too much about this character, I'm not gonna lie, so I can't really talk too much about that. We've got Ying Sheng Manchester. She's only good in PvP, so I wouldn't actually recommend you guys summon for her. She does have the ability to remove buffs, but only useful in PvP. Next up, we do have Stronghold, a character you will not be using anytime soon because yeah, it's pretty average. There is better characters to just use. Next up, we have Orca. Not gonna lie, do not use this character. Don't know anything about this character. Don't even bother with her, not gonna lie. Next up, we got a free Awakened character, Lee Jisoo. Pretty decent. I do feel like she's a little bit underestimated in PvP. Not B tier in my opinion. I would say A tier. She's actually quite useful. She has the ability to stop healing, which is amazing in PvP. So yeah, she does have the ability to counter certain teams. Next up, we got Elizabeth, very top tier character before, but now she's just pretty average just because her cost is quite high. Full deployment cost is just too high. Next up, we do have Lily, only good in PvP for the sleep mechanic, but you won't use her in PvE. We also have Nanelle Blue still. She's completely amazing in PvP. Get her to level 110, and I believe her damage can pretty much shred through the Awakened Hildy. Moving on to the C tier, not Stronghold, Titan. Yeah, he's been moved down to C tier. Kind of sucks, but I do understand. His deployment cost is just too high. He literally has the same deployment cost as an Awakened character. He's not as tanky, he doesn't deal as much damage as them, so I do understand why he's at C tier. But when the games came out, he was definitely like an A tier character, I'm not gonna lie. So it kind of hurts to see him here, but I would feel like, yeah, actually, I do understand why he's here. Who else do I want to talk about? Harab, only good in PvP at certain times when you're going against low deployment teams. Don't really know too much about this character over here. Dominic King Regional, not bad. However, his high deployment cost is just not going to be useful. Moving on to D tier, Estarossa, which I am a little bit surprised on, not gonna lie. I thought she was going to be a C tier character. She is definitely better than, actually I don't know. I would definitely say Estarossa and Titan are both similar in the sense of high deployment cost, quite tanky, but they just cost too much. Don't really know too much about this tank. Moving on to E tier, Lumi over here, we already know she's not that useful. Square, I don't know too much about that character. She's also quite useless as well, and I believe that is it. So that is it for the tier list, guys. If you guys want to stay tuned for more counter side video, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It's been your boy AC Gamer, and I'm out.
Was it the voice? Was it the fire burning in me? All of the noise turned into choirs of harmony.